Good morning, ducks! As soon as I grab the camera, Dougie wakes up. He knows. We're going out, Doug. Come on. Let's go let the ducks out. He's already been out once this morning. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Duck Adventure for the 20th of April. I think it's the 20th. I've been up since 4:30. I'm a little bit tired still. I slept yesterday, or last night actually. I went to bed at ridiculously early hour. Like I locked the ducks up last night. I didn't video yesterday. I locked the ducks up. I'm trying to think. It was like 8:25, and I was in bed at like 8:28. It was unbelievable. I wiped right out. But then I woke up this morning ridiculously early. Ducks are sleeping. No noise. Oh. Hello, ducks! Wake up, everybody! Oh, they're coming to the gate. Dougie. Doug, you're hanging with me so good. Tying them up, guys. The dog, absolutely no interest in going to the front of the property. Fence just cracked. Man, the frost is just tearing the fence apart this year. Okay, so update on my insurance. The insurance company's unbelievable. It turns out that my original policy, the one that jacked up like last year $900 and this year like 700 and something, they've come down to actually less than last year's rate, but no refund for last year's overcharging though, typical insurance company. And I can thank the broker in the other town for getting me the savings. But I had some crazy responses from other insurance companies. Like one company came back with, and this is the craziest thing, they would do my house insurance and they would do my truck insurance, but I had to get, you're not going to believe it, I had to get YouTube insurance because they wanted to have a business policy for me walking around filming my life. Like I said to the broker, I'm like, well, like what kind of liability? Like I'm walking around with a camera filming my life and what I'm doing. And they said, well, they want a business policy. I'm like, some of the things, the responses I got back, bottom line, not many companies will touch me. So I'm lucky that my that broker in the other town, discovered the error on my policy and got it, renewed at a much. Actually, it turns out like some of the lowest rate. I think it's like the second lowest rate of all the ones that did quote me, but then came back later saying that they needed a business policy. Anyway, so the insurance situation has been taken care of. A real curveball that I didn't count on. Actually, a big time drain. I think that's why I'm a little bit tired, because it was so stressful. When you're looking at insurance premiums that are basically making it too expensive to live in your own home. That is not. It's a lot of stress, guys. I can tell you that much. It was an unbelievable amount of stress because it was just a crazy amount of money. It was making it so that it was like impossible to live here. That's how high the rate was getting. All right, let's let these ducks out. Dougie's sticking right to me here. Doug, you're being so good. And look who's waiting. All right, ducks, I won't torment you anymore. Oh, hang on. Doug, where are you? You're right behind me here. How about this, Doug? Sit right here. Here. Okay, Doug wants to get right in the mix here this morning. Sit. Stay there. Be a good dog and stay right. No. Oh, the fence is cracked. All right, Doug is totally screwed up because of the fence. I'll turn the fence off. We got shorts all over the place. Another thing that's causing the shorts is the feathers. Okay, Doug, sit. Stay there. Fence is off. Stay. Stay. You're just vibrating, dog. Stay there. Oh, the gate won't open. All right.
a shot on me. I'm not doing too good here with the gate situation. Strippers in the bathtub, guys. Okay, that was a screwed up morning rush.
They scatter so fast. Hunting right away. There's got to be more and more bugs appearing on the lawn because it's getting warmer. The frost has really destroyed the pen this year, and the worst part is I can't hammer down the posts like I normally do every spring because the posts are in really bad shape. You start hammering them down, they break. Well, I'll show you what's happening here. If you take a look here, you know, that post right there is about 1/3, you know, maybe even 1/4 the size of what it is up there. It's rotted right off. And this right here should be at ground level. It's actually pushed up like 8 inches. The whole pen all around is the same situation. And if I go around with the sledgehammer like I usually do, and I get the step ladder and, you know, pound it down, because the posts are getting so thin at the bottom, they snap off. And it's like the pen is in super bad. The frost is just tearing its crap this year. Worst I've ever seen it. Like it's really heaving the crap out of everything. So strippers in the bathtub. The little girl is just an amazing little duck, man. For a duck that's so gimped. A real tough little duck. Man, I'm looking around here. The frost this year. And the dead shorts last night drove me nuts. I was out here bending wire because it was shorting, and it's lifting up like. The thing is like, you know, the posts need to be down like 5-6 feet. You know, so that it gets below the frost line. And it's like, you know, well, I'll show you, man. It's like they're breaking off. They're, you know, the fence is, the pen is in serious need of some love. So that post you see sticking out, guys, it's actually busted right off. The frost has done a really good job this year. I'm out here walking around and everything, and Canada Goose is right there. Actually, all the corn's gone too. I'm walking around, and Doug's here walking around in the yard, and that Canada Goose didn't even move. But the red-winged blackbirds, all the corn's gone. That's why the yard's so quiet. There's no corn. All right, I'm going to finish off the edit. I'm going to come back and do egg recon a little bit later. I find that in the barn, there's ducks still in the barn, and they're in the shed too. And if I leave them, they lay their eggs because it's about 8. I think it's about 8:45 right now. I find that, well, I went in yesterday in the barn at 10 o'clock, and there were still ducks sitting on the nests. You know, they're still dropping eggs. I found some eggs in the middle of the day too, so it's like there are some late layers that are happening. I'm gonna get my edit done. It's gonna warm up. I'm gonna get into the garage and work on the Argo today. I gotta get the Argo done, get the back room set up on the hatch, and then start focusing on a massive pen replacement, I should say, because it's not fixable. Not the way the posts are all snapping. All right, let's get the garage open. I'll get some heat happening here. Oh, it's cool in here this morning. Dougie's sticking right to me, guys. Everywhere I go, he's just right beside me. We'll take a quick look in the barn, guys. See if there's any ducks sitting on nests in here. Yeah. See, I don't want to disturb. They're not ready yet for me to get in here. I'll be back, girls. There's that little duck. She's quite a little layer. All right, we'll come back to this later. Do egg recon. Got the edit done first. Man, the pen is just so twisted. This part of the world, frost, just destroys everything. Snapped the patio stones. It's pushed the posts up and it's snapped the patio stones. Well, I know what's going to happen now here for absolute sure. The pen has to be addressed. It's getting just in too rough a shape. But what a beautiful morning. But it's ever quiet when there's no corn in the yard. I'll get some corn out too after the edit. I just get my breakfast ready, and look what's coming through the yard. Just freaked the ducks right out, actually. I guess they're coming in looking for corn. Wild turkeys. Oh, them turkeys they're circling back into the yard. Okay, where are they? I can't see them in the viewfinder. Oh, there they are. It's got to be the corn that's bringing them in. And all the decoys. So I just got my edit done. I'm just waiting for my breakfast to be done here. I can get some food into me. Okay, the ducks are following the turkeys into the bush. Oh, I don't believe this. Look at that. They're following the turkeys. Get back here, ducks. Yeah, look at that. Oh, I wonder if they think they're turkeys. I'm gonna have my breakfast. Then we'll come out here, do a recon, and go do the Argo. Get it ready to do the swamp. I don't know how to put this, guys. I got something in the mail yesterday, and I don't want to sound, you know, ungrateful or anything like that, but it's just, I see people wasting their money on something, and it's like, it's gotten out of hand actually, because it's far too much of it has shown up here. Doug doesn't play with dog toys. Like, I'm not kidding you guys. Like, you could take a dog toy and actually the only way you can get Doug to play with a dog toy is cover it in duck fat, because even bacon fat he wouldn't touch it. He's not interested. And yesterday, I'll show you. I got this anonymous package, no address, nothing on it. It's like $11.86, I think it is, in postage. And inside is an actual dog toy. He already has one that somebody else sent him, and it's just a total waste of your money. The dog absolutely has no interest. Like, guys, I'm not kidding you. Like, he's got, like, I have tried. You know, I've had so many given to him. I've had people drop them off here. You know, like, I bet you he's got, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, like seven that I can think of off the top of my head. And they're scattered all over the house, and I leave them out for him, and he doesn't touch them. Like, he, honestly, like, I think in the 2 years that he's been here, I've seen him maybe 3 times pick them up, and that's it. Like, it's he has no interest in them whatsoever, and it's just a waste of money. And I don't want you guys wasting money on something that is the dog has no interest. Like, even, you know, dog treats, he won't even eat dog treats. The dog is the most bizarre dog, actually, when it comes to that. Toys and food, he doesn't make any sense. Like, to give you an idea, with Doug, if you're giving him food, If you have a dish and you want him to lick the dish, and you've got the pot in your hand, he'd rather have the pot, even though that's your food, and the dish is like, he's like, it's like he knows there's always something better. I put stuff down on the floor, like it's really, it's frustrating as hell with the dog, I'm telling you, because like I'll put food down, and he'll just look at it, and like he's unbelievable when it comes to food. It's unless it's like cheese, that's a different story. A block of cheese, look out. There's certain things, but 90% of the stuff he has no interest in. And I got out of the post office yesterday, and I didn't know how to broach the subject with you guys, because I don't want to, sound ungrateful. But the thing is, it's just you're wasting your money. Doug's in the house, he sleeps. That's all he does. Plus, I don't want him running around the house playing, because 137 pounds. My house isn't big enough, and he'll destroy the place. So it's like, in the house he's pretty well does nothing. He just lays around and sleeps. That's all Doug does. Now, when he gets outside, it's a different story. But he's not going to be chewing dog toys outside. He's never quiet. I gotta get some corn down. I think that's why it's so quiet. We have no attractant for the wild birds. They've totally left us. What a silence. Oh no, just as quiet as could be. A little stripper. She's opting for just staying in the pen here. What are you doing, girl? Are you alright? Alright, well, let's get egg recon happening. I'm going to throw down a bag of corn, and then we're going in the garage to play Argo mechanic. Okay, I just saw the tail feathers of the wild turkeys go back into the bush. They're still here. I guess they're waiting for me to get some corn out here. Okay, so let's start looking for eggs. Oh, this pen's in bad shape, man. Frost has really played havoc on it this year. It's absolutely beautiful out. It's a perfect day to be working in the garage. It's like, right now it's like 22 degrees out in the shade. Thankfully I opened the garage door up, and I think it'll be nice. It'll be warmer in there. It won't be nice and warm, but... Oh, Muscovies, what are you doing? We're supposed to get some rain starting tomorrow. Rain, and the temperature is going to go down. Well, see any eggs out here? Everybody's really relaxed here today. It's actually really weird. It's so quiet. Okay, no eggs outside. Oh, Stripper's left the pen. Well, she's... Oh, she has a hard time walking. Have a little duck. Look at her go. Little hop along. Oh, egg over here. You gotta check these eggs, because sometimes they drop them on the rocks and they get a crack in them. Haven't tried them yet to see what the shells are like. Okay, no eggs in here. Oh, and my camera search, guys. Come on out, girl. I wonder if that's a tacked up. So my camera search, I knew it. Somebody listed the exact model I'm looking for. Well, my model, the HDR-CX430 that I use. They listed it today. Now they're asking a little bit more than I'd like to pay for it. So I sent them a question, because I want to know what file number they're up to, because they're not listing a memory card with it. So they're using the internal memory, which is harder to reformat compared to a card. So chances are they've never cleared the memory, so I can get an idea of how many videos they've shot. So I'm just waiting for an answer back on that. The listing says that he barely used it, that it's just sitting, which is exactly like I told you guys, you know. Unless you're on a mission with a camera, it's like they hardly ever get used. Well, I know myself, I bought one of those Sony, what is it, high 8s or waterproof ones, sport cam.
back in the 90s. Oh, a little bit of feed consumption. And I'm not kidding you, I bet you I shot maybe an hour and a half worth of footage on it. It's been sitting in my closet for 25 years. Oh, little girl. She's so cute. Which, if I had an adapter to go from the camera to the computer, I actually have some pretty cool footage of a fox. In the middle of the night, I was like not even 12 inches from its face while it was eating birdseed. It was pretty epic, but it would be like 240p. It would be because the video back then wasn't 1080, you know, it would be a real small picture. But it would be epic because I remember the night I was hanging out the window and I was like, the camera was not even a foot and a half from his face, and he was just munching down on the sunflower seeds. Oh, white that is, right? But if I don't do something soon, it might not even be any good anymore. It might have deteriorated on the tape. Like I said, guys, I haven't run that video camera in, I'm trying to think, 95, 94, it's a long time. Well, actually, I haven't touched that camera since I moved into this house. That's how old it is, and how little use it got. So when people buy them, you know, and I know lots of people, you know, they buy the video cameras and they never use them. It's like on a smartphone, you know, I've got friends that have kids and they're always taking still pictures, and I'm like, and I was like, they've got the smartphone right in their pocket and they take a still picture, and I'm like, why wouldn't you do a video of your kids? Because, you know, when your kids grow up, it'll be, oh, another little duck in here. Come on. Whoa. It's right into Doug's face. You know, when your kids grow up, you know, I personally, when I was a kid, you know, it was film only, and only the rich had movie cameras. I would love to have footage of me as a kid, video footage with sound. Be awesome to see, you know, what a dweeb I was. Because I know my pictures of my childhood, I look pretty freaking strange. I'd really like to know what I sounded like and how I acted. Alright, that's it for eggs. I don't see anything. Doug, you're rolling in the garden. That's what he's doing. He keeps coming back with straw all over his back. You're in the garden, aren't you? You're rolling in duck poop in the garden. Oh, that duck's mad at me. Listen to her. She's pissed that I took her off the nest. Sorry, I took your eggs. Well, it's a pretty good bucket of eggs, though. Alright, let's get some corn for the wild critters. Doug. And then we'll become Argo mechanic. Well, let's carry 2 bags of feed at once here. See how far I can get across the yard. No, Doug. No, we're not playing. See, guys, this is what he likes to play with. Not stuffed dog toys. Doug. Oh, you. This is Doug's idea of a toy. All right, we'll do one at a time here so I have some control. He's not your normal dog. And like I said, guys, in the house, he is absolutely, well, you'd swear he's not even in the house. He goes totally quiet, sleeps, laid back. And I think a lot of that, too, is the fact that, you know, he spent the first 17 months of his life locked in an apartment I think that's just his mindset when he's inside. He just does nothing. Okay, she's back in here. But you got no eggs there, girl. We got 2 ducks that are actually quite aggressive here this year. I'm sorry. Yeah, so I think Doug, a lot of his, thing that he just won't be bothered with toys is the fact that, where he lived, one, they didn't have any toys. He had nothing in the house, in the apartment, I mean. And he was just trapped inside. All right, we got technical difficulties here. He was just locked inside, that was his life. So when he got here, inside, he never changed his ways. He just stays sleepy, lays down, relaxed, does nothing. But he gets outside, which his previous life he did not have that access, and he just runs. Like he's gone right now. Well, he's somewhere close. I've lost Doug. Did he go back into the garage? Oh, there he is. Doug, what are you doing in there? Come on, let's go. I forgot how much you like to sleep in the garage. Which isn't the best place to be on the lookout. Alright, he's got no interest in this feed bag now. It seems if I'm holding it with 2 hands, he loses interest. She struggles. The handicapped duck show. Is everybody ever quiet today? Mid-afternoon break. Ducks do that all the time though. They're not big fans of the heat of the day. Okay, here we go. Come on back, birds. We got something here for you. He keeps sneaking back to the garage because it's cool in there, laying on the cement floor. All right, I'm done my chores. I'm gonna go and start playing mechanic. There's just a whole bunch of ducks there eating corn. And the Scovy tail going while he's eating. They're so quiet. Mid-afternoon. Well, I think it's 1:45 right now. It's time to go into the shaded garage and become Argo maintenance man. Even though, honestly, I still feel like taking a nap. I need some serious rest, and I can't seem to get a good night's sleep. Like I'm going to bed, and I'm like in bed for 9 hours. But I wake up tired. I'm not getting a recharge sleep. I have no idea why either, because usually I go to bed and 7 hours I'm totally recharged. But I don't know if I'm oversleeping. But the problem is I set my alarm for the 7-hour mark, and I can't. I didn't even hear the alarm this morning. All right, let's get the owner's manual out. I should say the service manual, and figure out how I get access to the inside bearings. This is going to be an interesting afternoon, guys. Let's stop screwing around. Let's get this done. Plugs, filter done. Filter's actually pretty black. And so are the plugs. All right, now's the fun part. Pumping the oil out. The way they make these things, you've got to pump it out. You can't drain it, because there is no way of getting inside there with a drain pan. So this is probably going to be the nastiest oil change I've ever done. Now this totally sucks. Whoever designed this, you've got to suck the oil out of the oil dipstick, out of a little tiny, looks like about maybe a 1/4-inch line, 3/16. It'll be pumping forever. It's ridiculous. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life, guys. I can't believe the Argo manual actually says this is the way to do it. I'm not kidding you. I've been pumping for a half an hour and I've got maybe like a half a liter. If that, maybe a third of a liter out. I've even tried putting some positive pressure with the air compressor, but it's just escaping through the vent in the motor. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen. I'm going to be pumping here till 8 o'clock tonight. Like, it's like sucking oil out of a motor with an eyedropper. Look at that. The most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. The manual says there's another way of putting a pan underneath the motor, but I got looking and it's like I have no idea how to get the pan under the motor in the cavity here, because there is absolutely like no room in there. But I'm thinking I gotta figure out some other method, because I'll be pumping this thing till dark. And if you pump fast, you just suck air. I have been pumping for 1 hour, guys. My arm's gonna fall off. It's like trying to suck the oil out with an eyedropper. It's just brutal. Well, I'll show you what I got in 40 minutes of pumping. And there's 1.4 liters in this motor. And I've already gotten, looks like about 400 milliliters. I got a liter to pump yet. Bar none, the worst oil change I've ever done. I can't believe they designed something like this. And this hand pump is actually the Argo hand pump for pumping the oil out. And every time you stop pumping, you lose your prime. You gotta get pumped. You can't stop for like 1 second, because you can feel it as soon as you stop pumping. You lose your draw. I've been pumping for an hour and a half, and I've got 1 liter out, about 1 US quart. It holds 1.4. Well, listen, I'm finally at the end, guys. Hour and a half it took to pump this out. My arm feels like it's gonna fall off. Yeah. Finally. But I've only gotten 1 liter in the waste oil jug here. So the other 0.4 of a liter has got to be with the oil filter, and maybe it was a little bit down. I thought for sure when I picked it up, he checked the oil. I just don't believe how much pumping it took. My arm's ready to fall off. Well, start to finish, this oil change took 3 hours. I don't believe it. That pump sucked. The dealership's got to have electric pump. And I end up getting 1.2 liters of oil once I drained the filter. So it was down 200 milliliters. I just can't believe start to finish 3 hours. But my right arm is so sore from pumping. Holy mackerel. Well, at least they made it a little easier to do the greasing of the chains for the drive on the wheels. I took out all the floor panels. So you can get access to the grease nipples on this side, on the inside. Not a big deal. It's the outside is going to be a trick. So I took all of this out. On the outside chains, you can use just standard grease according to the manual, but the drive chain off the motor beside the brake, different story. And I just happened to have the exact chain lube that they asked for in the manual. That can, guys, no lie, is 30 years old. It's from my dirt bike. I've had it stuck in the back of my garage here, but it specifically meant it clings on to the chain so it doesn't fly off, because the chain coming outside of the motor, the brake is right beside it, the actual disc brake. So they tell you in the manual, do not use oil or grease. So I had I have the right lube for that chain, but the rest I can do with grease.
but it's not too bad. It's a little bit dry actually. It's not as lubed up as I would have my chain, because a dry chain stretches, and I can see a little bit of a stretch in the chains. The tensioners aren't keeping the chain as tight as they should be. And that's what happens when you let chains get dry. They stretch. I learned that with dirt bikes. So I'm gonna get the wet vac, I'm gonna suck out the inside, clean it all out, and then I'm gonna lube it all up, put it back together, and then attack the bearings on the outside. I can see why the dealer said it takes that long. But I'm starting to wake up here because I'm getting closer. We'll be out in this tomorrow. We'll be packing the bulrushes down tomorrow. That's a ridiculous amount of chain in that thing. I can't believe how much lube it took. There's got to be 30 feet of chain inside that machine. Anyways, it's done. I'm going to put it back together and then jack her up and do the bearings behind the wheels. And hopefully the Argo dealer is not right, that it's really, really hard with tracks on. Back together. All the maintenance that had to be done inside is done. Now, we find out if the Argo dealer was right, which I'm thinking he is, because they work on these things all the time. How hard is it going to be to do, well, basically 16 grease nipples right behind the wheels. Oh, go on, get on there. Oh, tight. Well, the only thing left to do is put some gas in it. And I've got gas cans down the back, behind the barn. Always keep gas here for the generator, you never know. I timed it just right, guys. It's 7:45, and my supper tonight is 8:30. That's what I have the oven set for. I'm pretty sure it's 8:30. I hope it's not 8. Because if it is, I gotta scramble when I get in the house. What a lot of screwing around. But I feel a lot better now that I've gone through the whole machine. I'm not gonna be wondering when I'm down in the swamp. I could have grabbed this gasoline tomorrow, but I was coming down here anyways to bring that water bucket, the heated water bucket down here. Oh, I'm all over the place with the camera. The ducks are everywhere. It's going to be interesting how this Argo works, packing the bulrushes down. Just started raining too. We had some sprinkles. I'm hoping it isn't pouring tomorrow. It's supposed to be warm, like 18 degrees, but rain. I'm not going to go and do it in the rain. I know I'm not going to do that. Unless it's a really nice warm rain. Okay, I'm having door problems. Oh, I'm having lots of problems here. I'm tired. I'm struggling. Dougie's been just freaking awesome. He's if he isn't running down to the swamp barking, he's hanging right here. Always really close. Tell you, he hates being tied up. That dog knows why he was tied up, and he ain't doing it anymore. Oh, I'm all over the place here. Okay, I gotta go have a shower. I got grease on my head, my back, gasoline right through my coveralls. So I gotta clean up. And I gotta release the episode which I uploaded. And you guys are probably wondering why I missed today. It's because I didn't film.
And don't forget to like the video and share it with your friends and enjoy the show.